This is Scott, and I'm going to the movies tonight, but I am not going to the drive-in as I usually do, for the simple fact that I don't have the weekend off. And not only that, but I've seen all the movies that are showing at the drive-in. And thirdly, is I wanted to see Teen Titans Go. I know, I just paused there for you to get done laughing. Man. I think it's a 9:45 showing of Teen Titans Go to the movies. And to me, that just says I'm going to be the only one in the theater. Well, we'll see. But I'm excited to go see this movie. But yeah, that's it. That's my intro for right now. I will let you know what I think about the movie after I go see it, obviously. And yeah, so there you go. All right, I'll talk to you guys in just a few seconds. Bye. Hey, I just got done watching Teen Titans Go, and yeah, it was kind of ridiculous that a 50-year-old guy was walking to the theater for a movie that was meant for children. But I didn't give a crap. First off, I think it's more aimed towards the young adult audience, and it's kind of what the mindset that I'm in. Here's a really cool thing about it, though. I was sitting in the theater waiting for it. I showed up pretty early to get to my popcorn and stuff like that. So I was sitting in the theater waiting to watch the movie so I could do my little review about it. And get my one or two views. Kevin, I know you're still watching, and that's about it. That's about the only people that are watching. And in struts in Chris Stuckman, that's one. He's like a huge YouTube movie reviewer. And here hey guys, I do movies too, or reviews too, yeah. Oh man, yeah, no, I didn't even introduce myself. There's just no way he wants to talk to me. Yeah, I'm I'm for serious YouTuber, and here I am just making videos for like the random person that accidentally comes across my channel. So anyways, we got Teen Titans Go, which first off, here's the thing. It was based on a cartoon that's been on Cartoon Network for what, 5-6 seasons now? It's got a really big following to it, although it seems to be quite polarizing, because what you have here is a very light take on the Teen Titans. And here's the thing. The Teen Titans were really, it was a really good comic book for quite a while, like during the late 70s, early 80s, more than early 80s. Pretty much when I started collecting comics, George Perez was drawing this comic, and it was taken very seriously. Everybody loved this comic, and I think because of that time period right there, it's had its longevity. If it was just like the 60s version, where it was like the old school Aqualad and Speedy and the Red Arrow and stuff like that, it would have been taken so seriously. But I believe that run with Marv Wolfman and George Perez doing the art on it was so revered that it's gotten its place in history. It's earned its place in history. So I can see it being kind of polarizing. I can see people thinking, man, they're not taking that subject matter all that seriously. But to be honest with you, the few times that I caught it on that Cartoon Network, I thought it was a hoot. I thought it was really funny. Now, it's come on Hulu after that, and I've watched it to some extent, and its joke kind of wears thin after the first, 25 episodes. But again, we have a television series that's lasted for 6 years, who, in my opinion, has lasted like maybe 5 seasons too long, if it's actually 6 seasons. So with that said, is this movie any good? And I'll be honest with you, yeah, it was great. It was awesome. It had some genuine laughter. I mean, it made me laugh out loud at some of the points in the movie, and it had some really engaging humor. I was really surprised that it had so much cross-company humor. It actually had Stan Lee voicing his own cartoon character in the movie making a cameo appearance, and then somebody whispering in his ear, "Hey, Stanley, it's DC. Yeah, you're not supposed to be here. Oh, I'm sorry." And then he comes back later on. He's like, "Yeah, I don't care if it's DC or not. I'm still going to make my cameo." And it was perfect. They were calling Slade, they were calling him Deadpool throughout the whole movie. And they were making jokes about Marvel, not poking fun at Marvel. Well, kind of, but they were poking fun at themselves too. Nothing was off limits for this. Of course, it still being kind of PG-13. And yeah, it made me laugh out loud, and it actually gave a story. And here's the thing, like, most of the cartoons on the show are like 5 minutes long. So you have you set up the premise, and then you just, it's basically just a punchline and a joke, and that's it. So I was wondering if this was sustainable for 2 hours, and it was. It gave a great premise, a great setup, and then it gave you a great ending to it, with really genuine, funny jokes all the way through. So, I mean, that's my short review of that, but it was fantastic. It was actually worth watching. And even if you don't know the Teen Titans Go, I think you'd still find something about this movie that you would find funny, no matter how devoted of a fan you are to any of the DC properties. And let me say this before I get into my review. There were really obscure references to the DC universe, which I really appreciated, because, of course, me being the big comic book fan, I got them all. And when you got to see the Challengers that you know and get a pretty prominent representation in this movie, yeah. I mean, the modern, even to this day, I mean, they have a comic out right now, but even to this day, I guarantee that there are still some comic book readers out there who read on a regular basis that have no idea who the Challengers of the Unknown are. Now, I know who they are, and I also know that they are kind of the archetype of the Fantastic Four, and it was also created by Jack Kirby, I think, afterwards. I'm pretty sure he went to DC afterwards from Marvel. So, I mean, it was pretty much him just ripping out the Fantastic Four and making them the adventures that they should have been. But, yeah, to have them in this movie and give them as big of a part as they actually had was freaking phenomenal for me. And they had the greatest comedic part in this movie. Well, not the greatest, but they did have a great comedic part in this movie. So I really enjoyed this movie. I really, really enjoyed this movie. I really, really, really enjoyed this movie. How much longer can I go on with this? So here we go. The numbered review of this movie. I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10, 100%. I enjoyed it that much. I really did. Now, I know on Rotten Tomato meters, I cheated and I looked before I actually went. I wanted to see out of curiosity how much of this kind of very niche cartoon humor would actually translate into a theatrical film. So I snuck a look at the Rotten Tomatoes meter, and I know that it was ranking about 90%, and it's really earned it. It really did earn it, and it's definitely worth a view in the theaters. Guys, go out to see this movie. Support it so that we get more of these, because I would see Teen Titans 2 for sure. Teen Titans Go to, I don't know, the multiplex instead of just the movies. Yeah, totally. So anyways, again, I'm going to say I'm not really sure what I'm going to see next. I kind of had this planned, even when I said I don't know when I was going to see you next in the last video. But I kind of had this plan. I kind of had an idea that I wanted to go see this movie. But I've been, actually, when I was on Rotten Tomatoes, I was looking through the movies that are coming up next, and I don't recognize any of them. Our summer movie season is completely over with. Now is the wild card part of the summer movie season. So, I mean, we may get some good movies, and we might get some dogs, but we are definitely getting the ones that they are at the tail end of this the movie season, and they're going to take a chance on. So let's roll the dice and see where we go with this. But that's me. I'm Scott, and I'm at the Cinemark movie theater tonight, and I just wanted to say, also, somebody told me that I'm not making it clear and why I don't want you guys to subscribe. Here's the deal. This is just my theory, but I honestly think subscribing just made YouTube kind of business oriented, and it made a point of YouTube as getting followers and becoming a partner and making money off of it. And that's not my point of this. My point is not to, amass enough subscribers and amass enough views that I actually become a partner and actually start getting paid for this. I'm obviously not going to get paid for this crap. I'm obviously not to the Chris Stuckman level of video making. I understand this, but I remember in the beginning of YouTube, I remember us normal guys getting, views, getting the attention that we're not getting now. And so, therefore, I'm going to keep on saying, please don't subscribe. But instead, make your own videos. And let's go ahead and, bring back the amateur version of YouTube. Bring back the amateur presence on YouTube instead of making it a business, instead of being subscription hungry, and instead of being view hungry. Let's go ahead and just make videos just to make videos. So that's it. Please don't subscribe. I'm Scott. Matane. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.